Well, good morning. I hope everybody had a good Labor Day. Let's do a quick little Fleabay edition. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time today. I say that every week or every time we do one of these, and it runs on too long. So we're going to try and hurry through this. Now, I've already glanced at shaper stuff and mill stuff, and there is just literally absolutely nothing that's new there under the search parameters that I set forth anyway. So we're going to look at lathes very quickly. And we're not going to spend a whole lot of time. Like I say, I want to get out. I've got some things to do before it starts getting hot around here. So, if we start off right off the bat, we've got nice original Atlas Craftsman 10-12 inch lathe miter gear set assembly. 150 bucks and 950 shipping. So, this is a, let's see, this is a seller that I recognize, been around forever. Um, Okay, just says what they are. Nice condition with combined shipping. Now, I've glanced at this already, and they're wanting 149 bucks and $10 shipping, 160 bucks in your door. I do not think any of this stuff like this is worth it. Now, these are in relatively good condition. They're in pretty good condition actually, and they've been cleaned up. Steel gears, when we look at them a little bit closer, this is the first picture, you can see quite the wear pattern here on these going across here. So this has definitely been used and abused. When we look at the miter gears, they look, when I first looked at them, they look pretty good, but when we look here and then we look over here, we see quite the wear pattern on these too. You see where a screwdriver's really chewed that up. All in all, they're not in bad condition for what you see. They're probably in pretty good usable condition. Are they worth 150 bucks? No. If you have to have these 75, 80 bucks, I would say is probably still too much, but they're just way overpriced on this stuff, so I don't know. I'd pass here. You're realistically for what you're going to gain with these. Look at how chewed up we are here. That's got a definite wear pattern. These are well used. I've seen them beat up worse than this. And this is a set of steel gears. So, they've been pretty well abused over the years to have that much of a wear pattern. If you see these in Zamac, why, then we'd say they're in pretty good condition, even though they're on their way out. But I don't think this stuff is not really worth it. You're not going to be, and there's somebody parting this, or he's parting this machine out. So, you know, 75 bucks at the outside, in your door, I think half. Half. So let's move right on and see. 10-12 inch lathe countershaft parts hanger bracket, 9-21, $29.95 and $20 shipping. This is the countershaft hanger. And same seller, so it's going to probably be off the same machine. So I think most of these listings right here are from this same seller. Yeah, please review photos for what's included. Not really telling you anything. This is a casting, probably worth 30 bucks. What's he want to just ship it? Well, it's 20 bucks. So you're 50 bucks. I don't know. That's more than I'm willing to pay for it. Paint's all chewed off of it. Got the adjustment nuts for the hangers. I'm not going to zoom in on that. No sense in it. That's going to give your number there, 9-21. So this has been sitting pretty well yucked up. It's going to be good and functional once it's been cleaned up, it looks like. So not too far out of line for a hanger. These are come on now. These are the wear pads on it. So it's complete, just needs to be cleaned up and be used. So if you do have to have a countershaft hanger, this may not be a terribly bad buy. So worth 50 bucks in your door? Yeah, worth 40 bucks in your door. So and that's probably what we're going to see here on a lot of this stuff. Right on down. 10-12 inch lathe compound, lower swivel base, 301, 10-301, $24.95 and $9.50 shipping. This is lower compound swivel, same seller. This is probably not a bad buy right there. That's probably a fair price. Yeah, see photos for condition. It's not, they're not giving any description other than what's here. So, and there again, this has been cleaned up again. So let's go ahead and look at this. Not all pitted out on the numbers going around. Huh. Now see if you need this lower swivel. It chewed up a little bit underneath the edge, but that's not bad at all. This is gonna be, you know, normally you see these, a lot of times they're really rusted out, really pitted up here. And this has got some chewed up marks where it was probably loose and got banged around. But this may not be a, I don't see any sense in going in any closer than that. What's it? They've got some pictures of the bottom of it here. It's got the nut, even though it's a wore out nut. You know, you need to build a new nut. It's pretty well chewed up here on the bottom. But for what you see with a lot of these, 30 bucks, I probably, if I needed one of these, I probably wouldn't be ashamed to buy this. You know, it doesn't look like it's been crashed. Nut's going to be junk. And you got quite a bit of, you got some scraping here on the bottom, which isn't that unusual, really. I wouldn't be afraid of that one for 30 bucks, and you know, 25 and $10 shipping. That's a fair buy. That's a fair buy. 10-12 inch lathe, half nuts assembly. Same seller. This is all the same. I'll bet he doesn't give any information about description. Good to fair use condition will combine shipping. So he wants $39.95, 40 bucks, and $8.95 shipping. Yeah, see, he's taken the time to clean up these parts. Two of the 4 screws, I believe, that hold that together. I think maybe it only takes 2. Maybe the other 2 are pins. Yeah, I guess maybe they are alignment pins. Yeah, there shows quite a bit of wear there, but there again, I've seen worse. So, what do they want for them? 40 bucks? That's probably not a bad deal either, really. You know, that's probably fair. I can't beat those up too bad. 50 bucks in your door? Yeah, maybe. I've seen a whole lot worse. Countershaft bearings. Okay, so these are the countershaft bearings and races that go on the hangers that he had earlier. Going to be the same, yep, same seller. Yeah, it gives nothing about description. 20 bucks and $9 shipping. Countershaft hangers and bearings, yep. Well, the bearings look kind of nasty. But the reality is it's the countershaft. You lube those up and run them. You know, normally I will beat up this seller some, but this stuff isn't as bad as some of the stuff a lot of them are putting out. Like all the bearings, the bearings are pretty nasty looking. But there again, 20 bucks. I'm not going to beat that one up either. You know, those are, I've seen people ripping them off a whole lot worse. Now, one thing I will say, when I went back through milling stuff, Atlas Mills, why they show up a whole bunch of milling attachments and accessories. There is a set of the aluminum vice jaws from the seller that's put them out there for 40 bucks forever. I see now they're marked down to $37.50, I think it was. I don't know if they changed the shipping on them or not, but they've come down a couple of bucks. So maybe the ones that I'm selling for 10 bucks, maybe word's getting out. You know, 10 bucks as opposed to, it was 40, now it's 10 bucks as opposed to 37.50. So they're, you know, coming down a little bit, maybe. They're still not worth 37.50. They're probably worth more than 10 bucks, but that I charge, but we'll see. Okay, 10-inch lathe, quick change gearbox, bottom cover and guard. Now, there again, we got the same seller, 119.85. Yep, same seller. This is all off the same machine. $20 shipping. Good condition. So these guards like this, for the quick change, this is the bottom cover. They want 120 bucks there. Let's look at these covers and see just what's... Yeah, this is the lower swing out cover. I've not set about to cast these because there's not that much demand for them, and they're certainly not worth 120 bucks used in this condition. He's got the upper cover there too. You know, casting like this, I would say these should be worth used 75 bucks. Now, it's easy for me to say that because if I put out a reproduction of these, they're going to be back in that 120 plus mark. So like I say, it's easy for me to say that these aren't worth it in that respect because I can do a reproduction and they're going to be in this same ballpark. So it depends on what you want. Right below it, he's got the box top cover. They want $99.85 and $18.60 shipping. You know, I don't think they're worth that. This lower cover should be 60 bucks. You know, the bottom one's 75 used. That upper one, realistically, 50 probably is what they're worth. So, I don't know, he's got to spend a little bit. This is all off the same machine. So, if you were to go back and add up the total for the sums of what he's trying to get by parting them out, he's got probably at least twice, if not 3 times, what the lathe itself would have been worth assembled, which is why they're parting them out. Now here is a lathe countershaft bracket. It's going to be off the same machine. This is the vertical countershaft bracket that goes on this. Let's see if he's going to tell you how rare it is. Nope, doesn't say anything. Please review photos. This is for the vertical countershaft for the 10 or 12. You want $69.95 and $27.80 ground shipping. So he wants 100 bucks for this. We're not seeing a whole lot of these vertical countershafts show up. The verticals are my choice. That's what I set up on the 10-inch that I set up as a turret machine. And I do actually prefer the vertical machines just because they're a little more compact and everything's there. If you're running them on an original stand, why, you certainly don't need that because it's got the bracketry to mount a horizontal on it. But my preference for setting these up is I just happen to like the vertical. Parts have gotten a little bit harder to come by for them. But yeah, off of the same machine, it looks to be a good assembly. There again, you have to go back and probably build a lot of parts because you're not going to find all of the vertical parts that you need to go with these. And it's probably worth 70 bucks. You know, it's in good usable condition. I don't see anything really wrong with the attachment other than it's in the condition of the rest of the machine. So $100? Yeah, maybe. You know, it's a casting. I'd be I'd be more interested if in your door it was about 75, maybe 80. But I don't know that that's too far off on price. This surprises me from this seller. He's always done stuff a little bit higher. Now, maybe it's because these aren't selling. Okay, now we go down here, and here's the quick change gearbox. He wants 750 bucks and 66.30 shipping. So he's wanting 816 bucks, 820 by the time, and then most guys are going to pay tax on it. So all gear teeth in good condition is basically all it says. So I don't think these quick change gearboxes are worth near this. Now these can be retrofitted to a manual machine or to a manual change gears machine, but there's some machining that has to be done and there's some fitting to them. So don't think you're just going to buy this and slam it right onto a manual change machine, because there is some fitting to it. I in all honesty think these, and I'm not going to investigate this too much. Paint's been scuffed off on the front where they've cleaned it up is what they've done. I consider these attachments to realistically be worth about 300 bucks. Half. And granted, they got a lot into them. There's a lot of gears in there and all that stuff. But realistically, for what you're buying, why? I think that's probably just grease. I wondered if that might have been a repair of some sort, but I think probably not. It looks to be, yeah, they just greased it up here. It's a good, complete, usable, quick change, but they're not worth 800 bucks. I think they're worth $350 shipping. If you have to give more than 3.5 for these, they're just not worth it. Does have the banjo, but yeah, there again. And I will bet once you really get to looking at those gears, if you were to look at them really, really close, there's going to be quite a bit of wear in there. Which I'm not going to take the time to do it today. In your door, 350 bucks, less than half of what they want for them. Unfortunately, some pigeon will come along and we'll give him what he wants, or he'll discount it, 20% or 15% or something. But yeah, I don't think they're worth nearly what they try and get out of these quick change boxes. Just skip on down a little bit. Back gear assembly parts, right and left. This goes to your back gear. This is the levers. $68 and $12.88 shipping. 80 bucks. 80 bucks for these. This is a different seller now. Condition. What's he say? It says used good. It just tells what they are. Left and right for your back gear assembly. 68 bucks, no way. And this seller's got a lot of feedback. You got the two castings, and you got the shaft, you got the handle, the machine parts that go along. This thing's worth 40 bucks. It's worth 40 bucks. That's all it's worth. They want 80, worth half. Half. See, refurbished Atlas Craftsman 10-inch lathe reverse gearbox, $325 and $9 shipping. No, these are worth 100 bucks. This is another one. Now, I think this may be the same guy that's taken a couple of milling machine gearboxes and trying to get, I don't know, $400 or $500 for them or something by saying they're refurbished. So what's he say? Condition is seller refurbished. See, the problem is with a lot of this stuff, and it looks like this guy's doing a good job. But anything that's refurbished, you don't know. Reproduction parts that I put out, you don't know the tolerances of these other than by my reputation. So for the few that are out here of this, why, you don't know. This looks good. It looks to be a good gearbox. But you know, I consider one of these gearboxes to be worth 125 bucks. You know, no matter what condition, because when you get to looking at them, the Zamac parts, you know, the handles look. This one looks like it's in good condition, but it's starting to wear. You got some. This is normal wear and tear. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this has been abused or this is not the way this handle should be, but you can see the wear in it. And look at the screw head scarfed up a little bit, and you know, this has just been painted over. Now, if you're going to put these back on your machines, you'd need to go back and clean up the threads in these holes so that you're not forcing your screws in there and potentially damaging something. These are, you know, I don't care how you cut it. These are not worth 300 and 400 bucks for a used part. You know, sell or refurbished, yeah, but this corner's been. No, it's probably. I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but you don't have anything. You don't have anything spectacular there, and you don't get to see any pictures of the insides. The closest you get to see with what the internals look like are this picture right here, and you can't tell the condition of these parts. So these gears may very well be all chewed up inside. This is worth 100 bucks. You know, not 325. It's worth 100 bucks, 125 bucks. Excuse me. Atlas 10-inch lathe compound top tool post slide handle pins and upper swivel, 179, 88, and 2365. This is going to be the first seller that's parting out that lathe, I will bet. Yep. Condition. Good complete upper compound. That's what it says. So this is a complete upper. It's not worth 180 bucks. So what do we got here? Let's see how stained it's been, how nasty this looks. And this has all been wire brushed off. You know, this has all been cleaned up. So he has taken time to clean it up. The chrome's chipping off this handle, peeling off this handle. This is a nasty looking handle. It's been in the wet. It's complete for right now, but how long is that going to last? Been crashed there. Not bad, but it has been crashed a couple of times. You got two of the adjustment screws. I think there's supposed to be more than that. I think there's either 3 or 4 there. Looks like it's been crashed there too. Probably. And you see this, look at how it's dug in. This would have had a standard lantern tool post on it. That's the bottom circular ring that goes on there. And it was loose, flexed, over torqued, something, and it's dug in on that front edge of that as it's been fed in. Oh, that handle's a piece of crap. Looks like the pointer on the plate is kind of scarfed down on the edge. I'm not going to look at it too much closer. What's the bottom look like? Bottom looks okay. You know, I don't see any problems there. Back to that crappy handle. Now see, when you go back here, you look, they're showing just this screw is what they're showing, and they're just highlighting that it hasn't been chewed up too bad. That's the screw that holds the nut for the lead screw going through there. You know, a lot of times you'll see these scarfed off, so this is one of the things that they want to highlight, is this one isn't scarfed up too bad through here. So if that's the high point of the thing, why maybe it's something you want to avoid. Now you don't ever get to see the a good picture down the side of this to actually show how many of these Gibbs screws are here. There's at least one more Gibbs screw in there. I think there's two. There's one there and one there. And I don't believe there's ever a picture, so it's missing. I think it's probably missing those other two Gibbs screws. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, that's where you're at. So, worth 179 bucks? No, it's worth 100 bucks and $23.65 shipping. Here's the tailstock top casting, 1995, and 40 bucks to ship it. Boy, this guy's smoking dope, and it's the same seller. Yeah, see, this one is a no. No. 20 bucks for that, but then they want to rape you on shipping for 40 bucks. 40 bucks. It's worth 40 bucks in your door, only because shipping will cost you 20 bucks to actually ship it. So 1995 is not bad for the casting itself, although there's nothing here that you're going to need. You have no idea what the condition of this internal bore on this casting is. So, and there's nothing here. Everything else has been stripped off to be sold separately. Everything. Standard 10-inch been chewed up pretty bad along here. You will almost always see the tailstock nut in the back of these because they're either Loctited in, pinned in, welded in, something. In my experience, those do not want to come out. So yeah, see, these are always anchored in here. And see, they've got this little cross slot in them that's almost like a quarter or 50-cent piece fits in there. You know, it's kind of arced around the inside. And every one I've ever seen of these, the guys that tried to get them out, they have been chewed up in there. Every one of them. I have extracted them. Oh, you do have the pin that guides the ram in the bottom. That's what it looks like. That is all that's there. So yeah, this is worth, you know, maybe 40 bucks in your door, but it's useless. Why would you possibly want it? There's no reason to have that at all. So, and right below it, or a couple below it, he's got the base for that casting. He wants another 20 bucks and $8.95 shipping. No. He's got the saddle for the machine, and I'm not going to go look at it. He wants 30 bucks and $55 to ship it. 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks for the saddle. And it's a completely stripped saddle. You're not getting anything. Well, let's look at it, just see what the wear looks like on the, yeah, same seller, of course, I knew that. From that perspective, it doesn't look too awful bad. Yeah, see, look at the wear pattern in here. Look at the difference between there and there. Look at the wear pattern there. Scarf out of that edge. No reason whatsoever for that. That's not gonna help you get where you want to be. So now what they're not showing us so far, there's our bottom. Or no, we're still looking at the top here, aren't we? We're still looking at the top from the back side. Okay, now we're getting to see the bottom. Let's see how much of the bottom we get to see, and then we'll come back and discuss this. Now, what you will notice is every picture of the bottom has the bottom retainer plates in place. They're not showing you what these actual surfaces look like underneath here on either one of them. So it would be my guess that these are chowdered up bad underneath that plate. When you look at the bottom of that saddle itself, I will bet that they are all chowdered up. I could be mistaken, but if they're good surfaces, they normally will show them to you. So $29.95 and $50 shipping. No, it's worth 40 bucks in your door. Half. Okay. So I think there's one more here we'll look at. This looks to be a relatively complete lathe. New listing: Atlas used metal lathe, model TH54, long bed, 1948 with a question mark. Pre-owned, 1,800 bucks. No bids. No bids. And this, of course, has all been redone. And I may have looked at this machine. Not quick change gears. Purchased a few years ago. Was restoring it. Almost completed but not assembled. Then had a stroke, so now selling. Appears in very good condition with minor bedwear that has a few small dings, nicks near the headstock. Includes all parts with just a few substitutions. Small 3-jaw, large 4-jaw. From Grizzly, drill chuck and arbor, live center, cutout tool holder, center drill kit. So I can tell without going in and looking at it, it's not worth it. So this machine has not been assembled completely yet, anyway. And who knows what's here. Got an angle iron stand under it, which is fine. You know, I mean, it's not original, but although by the same token, for a 10F, you know, anything in this class, for 1,800 bucks, it better be complete and pretty much original. So I guess if we go and look at it a little bit closer, as best we can. No switch mounted anyway. Maybe there is a switch. Been repainted. Of course, we don't have any of the rest of it put together. Probably maybe an original motor painted up red, or that hasn't been painted blue like the rest of it. Big 4-jaw, small 3-jaw. Steady with it. Faceplate. You can't really see too much more from that picture. So motor's not mounted. So you can kind of get an idea of the wear, because when you look at the label on there, it's all faded off, and it looks like it's probably been taped off rather than taken off and painted underneath and then put back on. Doesn't look like it's got painted there. So you're going to see some wear right there through the bed, and that lead screw looks pretty nasty. There's where the apron sat with everything for however many years. Okay. Yeah, see, it was just painted up over the oilers and everything, painted up over the handle. This is kind of a, threw some paint here. So this was a repaint. Didn't bother to pull the index pin out. And I'm not, you know, this is the way a lot of these are done, and as we age, maybe we don't spend quite as much time or effort as we might have, or able to spend as much time or effort as when we might have been younger, and maybe, you know, so you don't really know the history of this. This is something that somebody picked up, started working on anyway. Pretty well chewed up here on There's been a lot of stuff whack this along the way. A lot of rust down through the bed, or just, you know, the normal crud that you see. That's corrosion down through there. You know, it's not worth 1,800 bucks. Look at how brown this is. Look at how brown this all is. I'm not going to go and look any closer. This is not an original handle. This is the tailstock. It's just been painted up over the ends and everything. You know, look at this. I'm sorry. This in this condition is a $700 machine, and that's being very generous. You know, I'm going to say this is a $700 machine, and I do honestly believe that is being generous. Yeah, it's. I'm going to be generous and say it's a $700 machine. If I came across this at a yard sale, an estate sale, I would value it at about $500 probably. So there we go. You know, I mean, it's an incomplete machine in the aspects of it's not put together. It's got some paint thrown at it, and you know, it's just not what it needs to be to bring $1,800. You know, it's a $700 machine, complete, as you see that right there with the stand and all the stuff on it. Anyway, there we go. That's I think that's where I'm. There's one right below it that they want $700 for, best offer, and it is, well, I was going to quit, but it looks like, and these are pickup only. This is a 10 by 30, and this is from a machinery dealer. So yeah, this is from a dealer, and they realize full well, and I will say this is worth a $700 or best offer. I would say that this is a much better buy than the one that is in the previous listing. Right off the bat, we see this has had some paint done too. This is actually an early model lathe. It's got a vertical countershaft on it. I'm not sure, I don't necessarily believe that this is the original pulley. And it's been repainted too. This is quite a bit earlier. Doesn't have the guards that go on the vertical. Tool holders. Handle's not original. And this, who knows the history of this? The headstock and the tailstock don't necessarily match the red on the rest of the machine. So this may have been something, you know, you got a black gearbox here. This is probably something that maybe it's just been repainted this red, because that wouldn't be original. I'm not going to look at this too awful close, but we can go through. At least this is a complete early machine. Now who knows condition. Looking at the bed, it's showing a lot of wear too. Look at the striations down here. Yeah, this has got a lot of wear through it. And maybe this has just been painted red and black, you know, so it may all be complete as it stands. See, I value this machine more than I would value the machine that we just looked at. You know, this one to me looks like a good, honest machine. The one in the previous listing is there to hide some stuff. We got a busted handle here, it looks like. Yeah, see, this to me, It's still probably not a $700 machine. If they can get $500 for this machine, that's going to be a fair price for it, I think, for what it is. Yeah, this handle's busted off. And it's brown down here a little bit too. You got paint here. This is not the proper handle here. So it's got some problems, but this you've got kind of a known quantity anyway, for what it should be worth, or for what you're getting. And you got your gears. Looks like a relatively complete set of change gears there. Yeah, this I don't think is a bad machine for what we're looking at and what we got, but it should bring about $500. You know, it's what I would say this machine is probably worth. You don't have a bunch of accessories. There is a chuck here. You got all the change gears, it looks like, and you've got a 3-jaw here. So that's enough to get somebody started for a reasonable price. Anyway, that's what we got. I'm not going to spend much more, if any, time here. As I squirrel on down through here, there's some stuff, but nothing earth-shattering. 6-inch lathe parts bed. They part out the rest of the machine for a 6-inch, $199 and $103 shipping. No, it's worth $75 and $50 shipping. $125 for a bed in your door. 6-inch metal lathe down here, they want $800 by it now. No, a 6-inch machine should be worth $400. $400. So anyway, we can continue on down here, but we're not going to today. That's a good place to stop. Hopefully you can better pick the good from the bad. And there was a few good here from the one seller, which I did not really expect. He's normally they're a little bit out of price range. Of course, I haven't seen him pop up anything for a while. So maybe they're kind of learning their lesson. Maybe it's a little bit hard to move these machines in this day and age. So maybe they're having to bring their prices down, which is a good thing because they've been overpriced for way too long. Anyway, hopefully you find that a little bit interesting. Comment suggestions, leave them in the comment section for me below, guys. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch.